This is Rosie, and she is a stinky little Frenchie, so I'm gonna give her a bath too, even though it's not her favorite thing, but she definitely needs it here as well. So let's get her in the tub. Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day today. My name's Cody and I wanted to thank you so much for stopping by today. So I just finished cleaning the parks for this morning, and of course my battery decided to die on me, but that's okay. I got it all taken care of and I'm ready to move on to the next thing. So again, thank you all so much for stopping by today, and just as a reminder, we are doing a giveaway for 2 of our cutting boards that we've made here. So if you're interested in winning those, all you need to do is be a subscriber, and next week I'm going to be doing that draw. Subscribe and you have a chance to win one of the cutting boards there. So other than that, let's get into the day here. Hi everybody, we are in the groom room. I've got Daisy here, who is in need of a haircut. So for those of you who don't know, I was a groomer, a professional groomer for 5 years right out of high school there while I was working at the kennel. I've since retired that gig. In all honesty, one of the most physically demanding jobs I've ever had. If you know a groomer personally, you know they'll tell you the same thing. It's incredibly challenging of a job to do. Back in the height of when I was doing it, I'd have 12 to 15 dogs a day, and I've never been more physically tired than when I was doing grooming full time. So I lasted 5 years, and then I switched more into the behavior side of things with animals and training and that sort of thing. But I still occasionally do grooming for friends and family and that sort of thing. And today we've got Daisy. This is my mother-in-law's dog who needs a haircut. Daisy has her own idiosyncrasies, we'll say, and she can be a little bit of a handful at times, but that's okay. The most important thing that you do when you're working with animals is to make sure that you're always listening to what they're telling you. They're not going to tell you in English what they're feeling, but their body language will tell you a lot about how they're feeling. So always be listening and watching for how that's going. And the other thing is just go slow. Go at their pace, If they start to get uncomfortable with what you're doing, slow down, try something new. Don't be in a rush. They'll feed off of your rushed negative energy, and they'll in turn give you that back. So it's better just to kind of go slow, take your time, and you'll have a better success. So you want to make sure the water's not too hot, not too cold. Always give it a feel before you put it on them. You just don't want to give them too much of a startle right away. So we'll see it here. It's a nice lukewarm temperature, a little bit warmer than Luke, which is good. And yeah, we'll see how she reacts. There we go. Nice and calm. So first thing we want to do is make sure that every square inch of her is soaked right down to the skin. That'll make sure that we get everything nice and clean. Daisy, you are doing so good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Is that comfortable? Get your little head. Oh, so good. Oh yeah. Daisy's got a special shampoo because she has some skin issues. Time for my shower. Thanks, Daisy. And yeah, so I'll use this. I'll work that into her whole body. You let it sit, this shampoo anyway, you let it sit on there for 10 to 15 minutes. Well, it was nice and dry. 10 to 15 minutes, and that's going to do is really help alleviate a lot of that itchiness that this poor little creature suffers from. So let's get her all shampooed up here. There we go. Alright, that's a good amount. And now we can work it in. Oh, Daisy, you're going to feel so good after this. Okay, there we go. So now she's had about 15 minutes of that shampoo to sit on her skin. She does have some allergies and some skin issues, so the vet has recommended that she have this, I think it's like a hypoallergenic soothing skin shampoo. So give that a chance to sit on the skin just to help alleviate any of those issues that she might have. So now the next step to do is just to rinse it off. So let's get on to that. So we'll make sure that the water gets back up to that nice warm temperature so it's not too much of a shock for her when it goes on her. And feels pretty good there, so we'll see how she reacts to it. She doesn't seem to mind, so that's a good temperature for her. So now we're just going to rinse out all that lather that she has built up. Again, going nice and slow just to make sure that she stays nice and calm and comfortable. And Daisy has a severe sensitivity to people touching her feet. And she tends to get a little bitey when that happens. So anytime I get an opportunity to work with her just to help desensitize her a little bit to some nice gentle foot touching, it's a good opportunity for both of us for sure. I know she doesn't like to bite people, and I don't like to get bit, so it's a win-win. Okay, now that we got the initial shampoo all rinsed off, it's time for the final one, which is a nice conditioner. So I'll get her all lathered up with a conditioner, let that sit on for about 5 minutes, rinse her off, and then we're ready to get drying. You're doing so good today, Daisy. Do you know that? Oh yeah. Ooh, does that feel good? You're doing so good today. So good today. Down the back. There we go. So she is fully rinsed off now and going to shake on me. I was ready that time. The last thing to do now before we get into the cutting is to get her all dried off. So I got my towel here. I'll give her a good towel dry and then put her in front of some fans and hopefully get rid of a bit of that extra water there. Because when you do your cutting, you want to make sure that the hair or the fur isn't wet. That's not going to give you a good finished cut. So she has to be perfectly dry before we start doing that process. So with her coat, a nice wiry terrier coat with a little bit of an under layer there, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get her fully dry, but that's okay. So we're going to get her all dried up here, and we'll keep moving along. Right, Daisy? Of course. Are you ready to get out, Daisy? I think Daisy's ready to get out. I think she did a great job, don't you? Hey, you were a very brave girl today. Thank you. Okay. There we go. So while we're getting everybody all cleaned up today, this is Rosie, and she is a stinky little Frenchie, so I'm going to give her a bath too, even though it's not her favorite thing, but she definitely needs it here as well. So let's get her in the tub and we'll keep going. Okay, there we go. So Rosie is a heck of a lot easier to get into the tub. She's obviously a lot smaller, and she just has that little single coat on her. So don't have to worry about getting her soaked with the double coat that Daisy has. So very, very quick, very straightforward. She is an old girl for sure, so I don't like to go too hard and too long with her. Just make sure that she has a nice quick bath so that she's nice and clean. And then get her wrapped up in something toasty because she lives her life on a heated blanket these days. Gosh, she's going to be 16 years old by now, I imagine. So, yeah, she likes to sleep and she doesn't like to be disturbed too much. So, I'll get her nice and toasty up here, put her back on her heated blanket, and we're good to go. How you doing there, Rosie? Was that too traumatic for you? Oh, she's shivering. Poor little thing. I know, it's so hard being you. Right? Okay, let's get you going. She sure is cute, isn't she? Daisy. Oh, good job. Good girl. Alright, Daisy is now out of the dryer and we've got her up on our table here. I've got a non-slip mat for her to stand on just because she can be a little sensitive up off the table there. So it just gives her a bit of better stability, which is really, really important. We want to make sure that Daisy feels nice and safe when we're giving her a groom. The other thing that's super important if you decide to do it yourself at home with your own dog is make sure that you always cut in the direction that the fur is growing in. You never want to go against the grain. It's not very nice feeling for them. You can often get too close of a cut if you go against the grain. So always just make sure, a good key or a good thing to remember would be is the direction that you pet your dog for a nice smooth feel is also the direction that you want to do your cuts in. There's not really much to it. I'll just go and get started and get Daisy groomed up here. The less time she's on the table, the better. Daisy does have a bit of a checkered past when it comes to her different sensitivities, so she has been known to get a little toothy at times. The most important thing that you want to keep in mind when you're doing anything with any animal is to really be paying attention to their body language. Stop if you feel like they're getting uncomfortable. Never push them beyond a point where they feel uncomfortable. No good choices are going to happen when that happens with these. You can kind of notice Daisy's overall demeanor here. She does definitely feel or look a little anxious. You can tell by her slight panting there, the way her ears are down and tucked like that, and even the way that her tail's not moving, and just the general like slunched over look. Daisy does not like to be handled, especially her feet and her tail. So if Daisy gives me any signals or any indication that she's not happy with what we're doing, we're definitely going to stop and we're going to reset. And we'll go from there. So anytime you're dealing with any animal, or any person even for that matter, be aware of what signals they're sending to you. And if Daisy gets a little too far or too close to that edge where she feels like the only recourse she has is to lash out, then we've gone too far, and that's on us 100%. So we'll just go nice and slow, and we'll get Daisy looking her best. What do you think, Daisy? Is that enough haircut for today? She did fantastic. So she's not perfect. She is perfect, right? Look at this face. Yes, she's adorable. The job that I did on her today is not perfect. It's still quite rough. And compared to what I used to do back then, you know, this wouldn't have passed. But again, it's more about the relationship that you build with the animals as opposed to getting another job done. At least that's the way that I think it should be. So I don't know if, you know, dog grooming was something that you expected to see today. Probably not. What do you think, Daisy? No comment. That's where I'll leave it off to here. We've got a few more things to get taken care of, but let's keep moving. Alright, we are back in the grow room, and as you can see, I've got most of the tables, the frames anyway, all put together. I still need to block them up, which basically just means putting a support in between the two long boards, so that'll give it some rigidity in the middle when I put the decking boards on, and then I just have to put the decking boards on. So I'm going to get all the tables blocked up and put into their place, and then I will put on the board. So we're nearly done with this project. There were 18 tables in total. Took me a lot longer than I expected it to, but honestly, most of the projects that I start take a lot longer than I expect. So maybe an eternal optimist, but that's not a bad thing to be. So I will get these tables blocked, moved into their right spots, and decked, and we'll go from there. So let's get back to work. All right, I have got all of the tables blocked up now, so all the middle support beams I've gotten put into place there. The last thing that we need to do is just apply this decking material here. So all that needs is just a couple of screws, and we should be good to go. So I've got well, 18 to get done here. So I'll get working on that here. Well, okay, there we go. We've got one of the groupings done. We've got 5 more sets like this to build. So with the 2 lowers and then the 1 raised one here. And then a little bit more bracing too. I'm probably going to put a brace across the bottom of the legs just to kind of keep all the tables locked together and nice and sturdy. But other than that, it's just as simple as getting this decking stuff on there. So I'm going to continue on doing that, and probably won't film it, and it's going to be pretty boring. But I'll take you through when we get it all done here. Okay, there we go. So it was a busy day, a lot of deck planks put down, but we're all done. So I think you can see, I don't know if it's going to show up very well on the camera or not, But I think you can see all the tables now are done and decked. I still want to do some bracing, like right along there for the tables, just to give the legs a little bit more stability. But otherwise, you know, they're pretty much good and ready to go. I set up just a little display behind me there. I'll take you through that, just as kind of like a more. It's more encouragement for me than anything else, you know. Still a long ways to go yet, like a lot of cleanup left to do and those sorts of things. But yeah, a great amount of progress was made today, so I'm super happy about that. But yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go have a quick look at those plants. All right, I've got a plank set up across the back wall there, just to kind of give me some ideas. I don't know if that'll stay or not, but I've got some Haworthia on there right now. I think they look pretty good. We'll pan over this way and see on that top row there, I've got my ginseng ficus baby bonsai. They're still in their nursery pots, and I'm about ready to pot them up into their plastic training bonsai pots. So if I don't sell those here pretty quick, I'll get those repotted and start their journey in a bonsai pot. Below that, let's see here, I've got some of my pothos. Just a mixed basket there between, you know, probably there's jade and golden and marble queen and all sorts of things in there. Just a nice full basket of pothos. And then over here we have some philodendrons. I think it's emerald green philodendron, and then there's a burgundy in the back there, and then I believe that is a golden princess philodendron, that more yellowy looking one. But yeah, that's just a quick look at what we're working on. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for today, everybody. I'm pretty tired. That was a lot of building today, but we made a lot of good progress, like I say, so I'm super happy about that. But I want to thank everyone so much for following along with me today. I hope you were able to get something out of these videos, and yeah, like I say, just one final reminder, we are doing that giveaway for the cutting board, so just subscribe to the channel here, and you will be entered to win. So yeah, on that note, thanks everyone so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care now. Bye.